Hello and thanks for joining us tonight after our hours-long coverage of now Tropical Storm Idalia. I'm Frank Malloy.
And I'm Lori Johnson. We have a lot to get to tonight, focusing on recovery efforts after Idalia made its way through parts of our southeast counties, reaching winds of up to 90 miles per hour. Right now, let's check in with Anthony Montalto, who is in Telfair County, where the wind uprooted some trees.
Yeah, hey there, Frank and Lori. Right now we are in Lumber City here on Bay Street, and if you take a look behind me here, this yard here now looks like a small pond. I would say there's probably about 6 inches of water in there. EMA Director Lee Connor told me flooding was a major concern here earlier when I spoke to him, and we saw it on the way in. Culverts overflowing into the street, and just down the street from here, a mess of trees fell on part of the Dollar General. Now it's now closed until further notice. Sandra Adams lives here on Bay Street and hasn't gone out since the storm rolled through. She says the wind was strong this afternoon after a pretty quiet morning.
The wind was blowing a little bit, but it started raining, and then it started raining sideways. I mean, I looked outside, the street was just twisted.
Now, Lee Connor also mentioned power outages and down power lines. He says the worst areas are probably along Highway 117, Fishing Creek Road, and Big Horse Creek Road. Live in Lumber City, Anthony Montalto, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you, Anthony. Now, in our earlier coverage this afternoon, Telfair's EMA Director Lee Connor told us a firefighter was injured during cleanup operations in the county.
Here is a bit from that discussion he had with meteorologist Ben Jones.
The first thing I want to ask you about is also a report of maybe a firefighter that was injured. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We did have one have a tree fall on them. She's going to the hospital. Not any life-threatening injuries, but got in the middle of this wind and tree having to fall on her.
Oh, well, thankfully, no life-threatening injury right there.
And that was Lee Connor chatting with Ben a little earlier this afternoon. Now